Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'm Mark Anderson. I'm Director of Education, Domus Academy. Thank you all for being with us this evening. We have three special guests, Constanza Etro, Clara Del Nero, and Giampietro Baudo. We're going to have, I presume it's going to be a very lively conversation this evening. Thank you, Constanza, for being with us this evening. Constanza is the Fashion Film Festival Milan founder and director. She started the Fashion Film Festival in 2014 and has been very active in the fashion world. She's has become known as a cultural figure worldwide. She's been cited by Forbes being one of the most successful women considered in fashion in 2020. She's involved with many initiatives. She created Eyes Philosophy, a creative hub for fashion and lifestyle filmmaking. And we're very happy to have you here with us to talk about the film festival, to talk about the different aspects of it. I know there's many different categories, and fundamentally have a conversation with Clara Del Nero, who's the artistic director of the event, and we have a special guest with Giampietro Baudo, the global executive director and editor-in-chief of L'Officiel Italia, who will be in conversation and somehow directing the conversation as well this evening. For us, it's a real pleasure to have to welcome you guys as part of this Disrupting Patterns series of talks at Domus Academy, where we bring people onto our platform to discuss with our students, to discuss what's happening in the disciplines and the contemporary scenario in general. We're very pleased to be talking about film. We're very pleased about video. If I can borrow a phrase from Marshall McLuhan, where the medium is the message, and absolutely today, film in video is the primary way of expression. If we've gone through a period 10 or 15 years ago where the focus was on image, now we're fully into a period where video is becoming the main vehicle for expressing not only content but also atmosphere, and it's that which becomes the real message. So thank you very much for being with us this evening, and I will give the microphone over directly to Giampietro and to have him lead the conversation this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark, and welcome to everybody. That we are just here to understand a little bit better and just to discover all the secrets and all the genesis about the Fashion Film Festival in Milano. I would love to thank Costanza and also Clara to share with us all their thoughts about the Fashion Film Festival Milano, how it was born, how it will develop, and how it will grow season by season. We will start with a little video that is a short presentation about the Fashion Film Festival, and that can give everyone a sort of immediate overview of what's this event. Also, if a lot of you knows better, but it's good to have a sort of overview about the history of this event. Thank you very much for sharing that, Clara and Costanza. It's really impressive to see all your story in such a short film. So I would really love to start speaking a little bit about how this project born. How was the genesis of Milano Fashion Film Festival, Costanza?
You are on mute.
Sorry, you are mute.
For having us, and it's a pleasure to be here. And Fashion Film Festival Milano was born in 2014 and was born out of the will to create an event with the highest quality, but open to everyone. I'm from Argentina. I was living in Mexico, and then when I came to Milan, I got married, and then I came to Milan. And in Mexico, I was doing I created the Fashion Week Mexico, and then the Festival de Cinema, the Latin American Film Festival. So cinema and fashion were always my passion. Yeah, and I have a third passion is I like to communicate, I like to create. So when I first arrived to Milan, I was introduced to the fashion system, obviously by my husband. And what I noticed is that it was a very close and very exclusive world. And during Fashion Week in Milan, I felt that the city was not involved in what was going on. That was really fantastic. It is fantastic, but I felt that we should create something for everyone, you know. And so I discovered Fashion Film.
It's that inspired you, so to create something that can be open to everyone and to create this kind of communication between fashion and normal people.
Exactly, because I think that, you know, when I went, I remember the first time I went to propose my project to Camera Moda, and they were all sitting in this round table. You know, I remember Gildo Segna, Sassi, he was in Valentino by that time, Bertelli, were everyone, and I was presenting my dream because it was, you know, and I told them all this fashion is it's a dream, it's something exclusive, it's something that makes you dream, and that's okay, but you with the Fashion Week, you have already that. What I'm talking about, it's an event that can, excuse me, that can involve, excuse me, excuse me.
No problem, no problem.
No, it's, well, so, yeah, it's a friend of my daughter from school. I'm like, what? Okay, sorry for that. I'm a mom.
No problem at all. It's
okay.
Real. It's real.
It's
a real conversation, and we are really between friends speaking about all that. So no matter what, it's
okay. I'm sorry
for the conversation.
So and I said, okay, you have already all that exclusivity, and we should do something for young people, for the city. So the festival is the only festival that was born to be free. Everything is free. You can submit your film by free. You can assist to all the screenings and all the conversations for free. So I want really to arrive to the most people that we could, you know, and young people, so they don't have any excuse, you know, because sometimes young people want maybe to send them films, but they have to pay 300 or 400 euros just to submit the films. And I was like, no, I don't want anything that can close the door to young talents. So it was born like that. Since the day one I arrived to Milan, I wanted to do, I always work all of my life. I'm like a workaholic. So I arrived here, start speaking, how to say, aprendiendo, learning Italian, but at the same time, like, no, I have to do something here.
Why you choose the cinema? It always been your passion, because why you decided to create this kind of event that is around the cinema? Because it's something really for the ages when you start, it's really like innovative. It's innovative.
Yeah, the thing is, in Mexico, I had this company that was called Cavalli, my last name, Cavalli Comunicación. And within my company, we created Fashion Week Mexico, that now belongs to Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. And at the same time, I created the Festival of Latin American Cinema. So the movie image, for me, it was always very appealing and very powerful, because I think that you can speak a lot, but sometimes when images are put together in the right way, they are like absolutely powerful. So I like the message that you can transmit or express through the cinema. And when I discovered that the digital era arrived, and with it arrived a new way of language that is the video storytelling. So when I saw that something was another kind of dialogue was starting between fashion and video as a response of this new era, and it was a need from the fashion industry to communicate in this new way, I thought, well, this is my cake. I want to start doing a festival. I remember that I went to have a dinner with my husband after a Giovanni Levi concert, and I was like, okay, I found what I wanted to do. And he said, what? So I started.
You really understand the starting of this conversation between fashion and film, because when you started the Fashion Film Festival Milano, it was really like the born of this new kind of conversation between all the fashion side and all the cinema style, the film style.
Yeah.
But just to understand, if you have to compare, or better, you have some competitor with worldwide with Fashion Film Festival, or you are a sort of unique example in this sense?
Okay, I will be completely sincere.
It's a conversation between friends, so
we don't have any competitors, and I will explain why. And then we will show you a video that we prepare for you that can show you why we don't have a competitor. So the thing is, you have in the last 6 years, a lot of fashion film festivals were born. I don't know, everywhere. A lot of them they don't exist anymore. They just lasted a pair of years, but the quality of people involved since the day one, since the first edition, that we had Franca Suzzani, that we have Tim Blanks, that we have Claudia Donaldson from Naunes, in that she was still the editor-in-chief of Naunes, all the super photographers, that Michelangelo Battista, Cotto Volofo, Solveig Sunfo, Rankin, Bruno Avellian, Tim Yip, an Oscar-winning director, Chinese director, Paz Vega, I don't know, I don't remember. Then you will see all of them. No festival in the world has this type of people involved as jurors, or as mentors, or as speakers. And then another thing, all the brands that we have from Chloé, Hermès, Louis Vuitton, Valentino, Armani, Prada, Gucci, all the magazines, and this is important, all the young talents and young directors. And our motto, since it was born in 2014, it was the big helps the small. I wanted to create an event focused on young talent. But if you create an event only for young talents, maybe the press or they are not so...
It's more complicated. It will be not... You have always someone that is old school supporting the younger school. So it's really this kind of relationship that you need to create to help also the young generation to boost and to grow up.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like that. And that's why we thought to combine all these big names, Wes Anderson, Roman Polanski, Luca Guadagnino, Paolo Sorrentino, Matteo Garrone, all these big names of cinema to support the young directors, and all these big names within fashion to support the young emerging designers and brands. So when you put them together and they start a dialogue, because we have a lot of big brands that are using our young talents to make them films. So I wanted to show a video that can show you the people involved in all these years.
So let's see the video.
Let's see the video. Ta-tan.
Il Fashion Film Festival Milano è cresciuto in maniera magnifica. La stampa italiana e internazionale adora il Fashion Film Festival Milano, gli ospiti sono sempre più prestigiosi, la giuria sempre più ispirante.
Il film.
Com'è?
Io non vedo il film, tu lo vedi?
No, nemmeno io. Infatti
No.
stavo chiedendo perché credo che il video non si riesca a vedere questo. Sorry, it's not possible to see the video. So if you can restart, Clara, it can be perfect. Because the screen was totally black.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Before it was okay, now I don't know. For the first video it was okay, now sorry for this little problem, little technical issues.
Okay.
Now it's good.
Ecco.
Il Fashion Film Festival Milano è cresciuto in maniera magnifica. La stampa italiana e internazionale adora il Fashion Film Festival Milano, gli ospiti sono sempre più prestigiosi, la giuria sempre più ispirante.
I am Margherita Maccapani Missoni.
My name is Marcelo Burlon.
Io, Izana Russo.
Hello, this is Tim Yu.
I'm Lachlan Watson. My name is Elizabeth von Gutman.
I'm Constanza Etro, founder and director of Fashion Film Festival Milano.
La Fashion Film Festival Milano di questo anno ha ricevuto più di 1000 fashion film. Abbiamo avuto nomi come Paolo Sorrentino, Luca Guadagnino, Wes Anderson, tanti registi del primo livello. Alcuni di questi sono stati veramente dei piccoli capolavori con un significato profondo che non pensavo.
Ha reso dell'Italia e di Milano un'immagine magnifica per tutta la stampa internazionale.
Quello che Costanza e il suo team ha fatto è incredibile.
Per me è stata un'ottima esperienza dal punto di vista personale.
Ed è bellissimo vedere un'arte in movimento che indossiamo nella quotidianità.
We put together young talents and big brands.
Hi, I'm Julia Rosecki and this is Brandon McKenzie and we are the directors of Water.
So it was like a very eclectic screening.
Milan is one of the most important capitals of fashion in the world. The festival produced a very good quality of work and good directors. It could be a good platform for them to go into feature films.
Credo sia un'iniziativa importante per tutti I giovani creativi che hanno qualcosa da dire.
It's a great creative way for us filmmakers to use the brands.
I'm happy I'm able to communicate my ideas and show people my world.
È bello che la moda metta anche parte di questo bagaglio culturale e economico in funzione di nuova creatività.
It's a very ambitious project.
And the winner is...
Sono Matteo Garrone, il regista di Le Meteor.
Vorrei ringraziare per l'invito del Fashion Film Festival.
Ciao, you lovely people at the Milano Fashion Film Festival. We're actually winning 4 categories. Unbelievable. Thank you so much.
Looking at the other films and looking at the judges, I feel I'm in a big sort of crowd, so it makes me even prouder to win. I'm super happy.
Hi, I am honored to accept this award.
Questo è un festival importante.
I'm glad to be part of this adventure.
I want to thank the festival. I want to thank the jury.
I'm really grateful for the opportunity to actually bring something so dear to me, which is like my culture.
We're seeing really human stories.
Thank you Fashion Film Festival Milano for doing such great work in challenging diversity. You're doing absolutely great.
Questi sono materiali che per me sono molto importanti perché mi aiutano a identificarmi.
I'm absolutely fulfilled.
As I told you before, it's very impressive looking at all these images together and all these frames together to understand better what has been the past and the present of the Fashion Film Festival Milano. It's really a strong message. But what's your goal? What do you think it will be the future of Fashion Film Festival Milano? You are muted.
Again, I think that we have done a lot, but it's never enough. So I think that with this new medium of communication, fashion got to a level that can really change the world. And it's not like, the fashion can change the world. It can, because you see, we have so many fashion films that talks about social issues, that talks about minorities, like one time Ivan Nolita won with a fashion film that was a documentary of a little group of people in Mexico that they have a transgender community. You have all these films that shows you or open your eyes into another world. So I think that fashion is doing, it's getting very powerful with this. It can be
the channel really to amplify the stage where you can also discuss about so many things, using dresses, using fashion as really something that is not the main topic, but that is just the protagonists, but all around you can find surrounded by so many concepts and so many ideas that fashion is becoming, as you say, more and more powerful.
Yeah, we have to use this medium to change sustainability, to support sustainability, to support diversity, support inclusivity and female talent. It's all our values since the day one. When we launched in 2014 the festival, we start talking about that in the first press conference that we did many years ago. And we always, every edition, we keep on doing the 2 projects that are inside the festival, Fashion Film Festival Milano for Green and Fashion Film Festival Milano for Women. So I think that this festival or this project is special because we have all the ingredients that there are the players within the fashion industry. We have the super brands, the young, we have the social issues, and we celebrate all these values every single edition.
It's very good, and I think that now we have another little video that is just showing your manifesto. I would love to, I like to say that you have a proper manifesto that are just the values and the pillars that are helping you and and all your team to create edition by edition and age by age all the casts of talents and the films that are participating. So if you want to show us all your manifesto, it can be good, so we can start the second part of our conversation.
Absolutely.
You call it the catwalk, the runway. Though I am no puss, nor your tiny kitten, you would never know how much I've been bitten. Posting your shit quotes doesn't make you look smart. Fashion's no trend. Fashion is art. We portray fashion as something for few, expensive and beautiful, everyday new. It's all about people, not some kind of trends. Real people. The ones you can find at the dress's own ends. See that? It's people, equally made. We shape this thing fashion. It's our domain. Though now it is time to ask ourselves, is this really the fashion we want to see on the shelves? Or do we want change and revolution, outrage? No race, no gender, no borders, no age. This generation thing, the climate, equality, peace, it's not going by. It's our new spring. So, join me today and ask yourself then, am I really the change or the usual old stuff over and over again? Am I really the butterfly, the spirit, the freedom at most? Or do I buy shitty stuff for my next IG post? Because fashion is art. We've said it before. It's our new tool to pound at the doors of managers, stylists, owners, and CEOs to tell them we're ready. There's no turning back. Revolution's begun. We'll meet you on track.
Revolution began, and it's really like the claim that is a strong message coming out from this video. I would love to ask you, Costanza or Clara, whatever you wanted to reply, what are the three pillars that define all your work and all the project of Fashion Film Festival Milano?
Clara, voi?
Well, since the beginning, as you watched also in this manifesto, our pillars were inclusivity. The festival is free because we wanted to be inclusive for everyone. Diversity, because we wanted also, by selecting films from all over the world, we receive fashion films coming from more than 58 countries. So we wanted to share stories coming from different cultures and different realities than the one that we live in. So diversity is another pillar very important for us. And then we have two special projects, one dedicated to sustainability and the other one dedicated to women empowerment. And these two are really the fundamental of the festival, because we always wanted to give the opportunity to talk about culture and to educate our public through the festival, because we really are a cultural meeting point for the people who join the festival every year, and we want to share strong messages through the content that we present, and fashion is the medium through we do that. So we present different documentaries talking about sustainability, as River Blue or other films that really made people think about how clothes and how fast fashion can be harmful for the planet. And also
I like a lot, Clara, if I have to say you, this idea of educate your audience, because I feel that the idea of having such a very soft word that is the fashion one, that always has been about trend, about dresses, can be also so impactful and can really educate the new generation if we use fashion to speak about such a kind of topics like equality, like diversity, like women empowerment, like sustainability. I think that really this kind of messages that you are putting together with the single films are such a strong power that the Fashion Film Festival Milano has in this moment.
Yeah.
I want to say something. When we began in 2014, the festival was only one day because it was an experiment. We didn't know, what to expect. We didn't know if fashion films will continue or not. The first edition we received 350, and we said, okay, 350 in 2 months, it's a lot. That was only the first edition. Since the second one is when we decided to develop the off-contest section, because we have the contest that there's the jury and all these fashion films in competition. But then we created the off-contest section that is really, it became our flag. And that's why when we said that we don't have competitors, because the part of contest part, we show all the feature films. The most important one in the last 7 years, we presented Franca Sozzani, we present After Venice, we presented McQueen, we presented Peter Lindbergh, we presented Bill Cunningham, we presented Halston, and they were all European or Italian premieres. So the distribution company, they call the festival to make the premieres with the festival. So for us, it's a sign of respect, and that's another thing that our festival has that other festivals don't have, the feature films. And as Clara said, all these projects about sustainability and about women. So since the second edition, we say every time we do interviews or press releases, our project, our event is not a fashion event, it's a cultural event through fashion and through cinema, but it's culture, because all what we are showing, it's as you said, as Clara said, is educational and inform our public. So that's our core. The last edition we just finished in January, our 7th edition, and we have, for example, in the section Fashion Film Festival Milano for Women, we presented a documentary, a feature film that won Cannes last year, and it was made by an Argentinian director. It's a documentary very strong, very powerful, that talks about the abortion in Argentina. We presented it after 2 weeks, just by case that the law in Argentina was approved. So, and then we presented Made in Bangladesh, that shows you how fast fashion is damaging all Bangladesh, the poor people. So I think that that is our mission, to put together these kind of messages.
Just going deep to the next edition and just to understand a bit better how it works. You have this part of a film that has been released and that has been the most important one, but you have also all the contest part. how you choose the jury and how you create the jury that selected the movies and that prize the movie, that gave awards to the movies.
Lo dico io, tu. Vabbè. We always have this, the jurors has to be people that we think they can understand and they support our values, and they have to come from, because this is another aspect in the festival, very interesting, that we always choose leaders between within the fashion world, the photography world, the cinema, arts. We had, for example, Andrea Lissoni, the curator of the Tate Museum in London. We have Ilaria Bonacosa from Artissima. We had many people, Vicente Todolide, Langar Bicocca, because through the years we saw that we had a lot of fashion films that were kind of how to say, artistic, not the classical
between fashion, art, photography, and all the visual part of the contemporary art scene.
Exactly. So we need someone with that kind of eye to judge this kind of movies. So we want to put together a very eclectic group of people that can support the future of our winners. You know, so.
And how you choose the films, how you choose the project that are competing inside the competition for the Fashion Film Festival, how you choose them?
Clara.
Well, for us, the most important thing that we search in a film is a strong message and a strong idea, because we always believe that to create, to share a message, you don't need a big budget. And this is the reason why we support young talents in sharing their ideas, because we received really beautiful films made from students. They just finished their thesis and they sent their fashion film to us, and it was amazing. Because if you have a really strong idea, if you want to communicate your story or something that is really important for you, you can do it without a big budget. Of course, we have also important brands and directors who participate within the festival. We have through the years Wes Anderson, Spike Lee, Spike Jonze, Paolo Sorrentino, and all the most important brands within fashion, Prada, Armani, Hermes, Louis Vuitton. And but we select the films regardless the name of the brand, but we select it if we saw a strong message or the will to communicate something more. And all the people coming to our award ceremony always were amazed by how there are different cultures and different views shared through the films that we selected. So these are the most important things for us, and not just the important models or names involved in the films.
It's very good that you really create a sort of community that is with different kind of talents, young ones, more established one, and you create really this kind of dialogue that is at the base of the creativity, and that can help creativity to grow little by little, and just to create also the creativity of tomorrow. I know that you have a short, we forget to say one stuff. You already decided the new dates for the next edition of the Milano, the Fashion Film Festival Milano, or it's not till set it?
Yeah.
Gave us a little update about that, about the film.
Yeah, the last, since the last edition that was held in January, we make a partnership with La Camera Nazionale della Moda Italiana. So we are going to do our 8th edition during Men's Fashion Week in January. So we're in next January, and the submissions are open now. We opened it 2 weeks ago. They are open until September. Right. And for all the students that are watching this conversation, I would like to say that you have to, you have time if you don't have anything done yet, but you have time until September. It's free. You have to send, and your material you have to risk, because you never know what can happen to you. For example, our first edition, we have this girl from, she was an Asian girl, Japanese girl, born in New York. She was American. And she was a young designer, and she didn't have money, obviously, to make an advertising in the magazines or nothing like that. So she put together her friends. You know, she has a director as a friend, and this director had the daughter of Natasha Kinski as a friend, and they said, oh, let's do a fashion film. And she did the fashion film. It was called ¿cómo se llama? Monotony.
The Purgatory of Monotony.
The Purgatory of Monotony, yeah. And she won the Young Talents part, because we divide, obviously, from established talents to young talents. And she won, and she came from New York, and we presented her to Franca Sozzani at that moment with Claudia Donaldson, and we put her film in Naunes, and in 1 month she had like thousands of hundreds of viewers, and New York Fashion Week invite her to, they saw the video and they invited her to participate, all paid, in New York Fashion Week. It was a dream come true for her. And she said on stage, I couldn't believe that I'm here in Milan, that I'm meeting all these people, and you guys have to take the risk that I did, because you never know. So it was her first film. Now she did a lot, and we launched her career as a designer. At the same thing that we did for Giulia Kenza. She's from Sardinia, and she submitted her thesis from another Italian university, and she won. And now she had like 25 fashion films done. She's a very well-known director in only 4 years. So send all the films. We are going to show you some fashion films made with low budget.
Yes, it's very good, this kind of example, in particular for the students, just to give them a sort of overview how the Fashion Film Festival Milano will take care also of low budget productions, because it's not necessary to have a big one to present a creative world, because a lot of time creativity save all the situations. So I know that you have a short video that you would share with us, explaining what are the examples of this kind of low budget video with great creativity inside.
Yeah.
And another one, just to give different examples.
I have to say to you that this one is very funny and that gives immediately an idea how you can create with a piece of paper and a great idea, a film festival, a film that can be very good for the Fashion Film Festival audience. So it's very, very good. It's a great example.
And another thing that I want to say that in this case, Fendi trusts our young director, Virgilio. They did this 6 years ago, and sometimes big brands are going to choose young talent. So not every brand, because some brands have another strategy, they want big names, but a lot, like in Fendi, in this case, want to try young talent. So there's plenty of opportunities out there. It's just take a risk.
It's just to take the risk and enjoy. Enjoy because it's the best way to create something new.
Absolutely.
I think that you have some other examples.
Yes.
Head east on via Pietro Pompanazzi toward via Francesco Briasci. Turn left onto Viale Argon. In 400 meters, turn right onto via Giovanni Pizzati. In 600 meters, turn left onto Viale Giovanni da Sorbonne. Continue straight onto via Vincenzo Villa, then your destination will be on the left. Head east on via Pietro Pompanazzi toward via Francesco Briasci. Your destination is on the left.
It's really the idea that comes out after all these little works that really the idea makes the difference and just help everyone to create something that is so impressive, that is really, really strong, and you have not the feeling that is a low budget production. So I think that is really like an effort and a sort of a great way for everyone to give everyone really the possibility to express and to create something that can be of a certain level. Just going back about all this kind of the competition and the films that you have during all these editions, what is the project or the initiative you are most proud about, you are most fierce to promote and to have promoted all that? I think that you are mute.
Again. Okay. The thing is, I really love Fashion Film Festival Milano for women. I really like, because I really feel inside the need to support the voices and to give a space, and where freedom of creativity, or freedom of expression, it's given for women talent. So the initiative that I really and the other one, it's everything. It's like, it's very complicated to choose, but yeah, for women, I identify with that. So it's the festival, and it's always the same thing. The festival is not made by women, absolutely. In our team, we have Maxiotti, we have Guido Cella de Collateral, it's a question of energy, you know, it's a question of sensibility, the feeling. And so, yeah, I like that project a lot. Yeah.
In this moment, really all the fashion world is really speaking about films, and after this pandemic moment, the component of film and the digital event has influenced a lot of the fashion system. What do you think about that? Because really we have an explosion of films presented by the single fashion house to unveil their own collection or to unveil a special project.
Yeah, I think that before la pandemia, COVID, I thought that, you know, fashion shows are an instrument that has an objective that is different from a fashion film. There are two different products for two different publics, and they tell two different things. But during the pandemic, thanks God, we have the fashion films, because the moving image, video storytelling, save a lot of brands, because if you cannot present physically, they did a video, and that helped the brand to continue to communicate the collections and to be alive. So I think that the fashion film was and is in this moment an emergency tool that is working very good for the fashion industry. I think that when everything go back to the possibility to make the fashion shows, for me, to make a fashion show will continue to be important, because, as I said, it's a different product. So if you can combine the two of them, that is a successful formula.
I think that the future is exactly what you are saying, that the future will be physical plus film, because a film can really help also designers not only to unveil the collection, but also to express the thought and all the creative process that usually was behind a collection. And what I can say on my side, so on my editorial side, this idea of film about film telling, just the movie storytelling, it helps also to be a direct touch with designers that usually you saw only dresses. Now you have the possibility to go more deep into the creative process of the collection. So it helps a lot, really. Just to close and to summarize all our conversation, that is more or less unfortunately, it's 1 hour that we are talking about all that, but really times fly. What's your dream? What's the dream for the future of the Fashion Film Festival Milano? What's your dream for the Fashion Film Festival Milano?
My dream is to continue giving a voice to all the people we can. My dream is to go back to a physical event, you know, where we can really feel each other and share good moments. We want to make it will be great to land in other countries and can do like a Fashion Film Festival Milano in Brazil, Fashion Film Festival Milano in Tokyo, you know, and be a bridge of cultures, to bring all the made in Italy and all the Italian brands to Japan and bring Japanese talent here. So I think that we are on our way.
Because really your language, it's really a global one. So this idea of exporting this idea of a Fashion Film Festival Milano around the world, it's something that I think that is really like a good message for Italy, and in particular for the Italian culture, because you are really speaking to the world with your project and with all the things that you have done during this different editions. So really compliments.
Yeah, I hope we're like very stubborn, you know. So we're like that. Yeah, we're very happy with this project. It's a lot of work, but we're proud that of what we've done and with the people that we met along the way. because
you are in the middle of revolution. As you say in your manifesto, the revolution began when you start with the Fashion Film Festival Milano. Now you are in the middle of a revolution, and you are doing a lot to really go through and go on with this kind of a creative revolution.
Yeah, and to survive, because it's difficult, but we managed to do so. Last year, we have to change the festival from one day to the other because it was all physically before, and it was like 6 days of festival. So we have to change to digital, but we made it, and so we're happy. And next edition, I hope we can do both, like physical and digital.